What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the 1% Club podcast. I'm your host, Tawfiq,
And I'm Andrew.
and today I'm very excited. We're joined by our guest, Vance Morris, who used to work for Disney and specializes in helping business owners providing exceptional customer service to grow their business. Vance, thank you so much for joining.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much for having me. We'll have a little fun today, I hope.
Yes, of course. That's the name of the game.
Absolutely. Vance, if you don't mind, would you be able to introduce yourself to the audience? Give us a brief introduction. How did you get started? What do you do right now? And how long have you been doing this?
Yeah, sure. So I was a little child born in a log cabin. That's probably too far back.
Yeah, a little bit too far.
A little too far. So we'll go forward a few years. So I was lucky. I started my career with the Disney Company, as you mentioned. I spent a decade with them down in Orlando. Had some fantastic opportunities with them, primarily in their hotels, resorts, and in the food and beverage area. I was able to, as the last few years, be on their design team for a couple of their attractions and restaurants. So I really got to see the nuts and bolts of how things were designed and put together, and then we were able to operate those thereafter. So the last place I designed and operated was Chef Mickey's, which is the restaurant inside the Contemporary Resort. Last time I checked, that one restaurant, 400 seats, is doing about $78 million a year.
Wow. That's
So
pretty
if you
big.
think about your local Chick-fil-A, it's probably doing about 8 to 10 million. This sucker's doing north of 70. So
Oh, wow.
uh, big, yeah, big money. I mean, Disney. Let me tell you guys, Disney is a master at extracting money from your wallet and leaving you feel happy about it.
That's genius, if you ask me.
Yeah, yeah. So,
I would love to do that one day.
well, I mean, we all can. I mean, it's a Disney's a great lesson in that and because they continue to provide value. They add value on top of value, and when you do that, your price becomes elastic. You can start to charge more. And with the value, I mean, it doesn't have to be tangible things. So, I mean, part of my background is I actually own three home service businesses here in Maryland, in the U.S. And part of that, part of the value that we add are warranties and guarantees. Now, those things don't cost me anything unless I have to go out and fix something. But that is a tremendous value to my customers because that value is there, I can now charge more. And if I charge everybody more, well, I mean, the one or two times a year I actually have to honor the warranty, I'm ahead. So, as you think about things that you can add in value in your business, think of things that, may not necessarily cost you money up front, but what can you add in value? Do you have an on time guarantee? Do you have no permanent stains if you're a cleaner, guarantee? So, I mean, there's all sorts of things you can do that will, boost that value up and allow you to create, premium pricing.
So, a big part of the value that you speak of is also very intrinsic to the branding itself and the systems that are in place. So, that's kind of allowing the flexibility of pricing. Like, you get to choose a price because you have such a big brand value. Now, from the customer experience perspective, like, what have you seen across the board, maybe similarities in different industries where those things really add up to the customers really having a great experience and coming back to that brand all the time?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, some obvious examples are, Apple. They have incredible customer experience. I mean, every time they launch a new product, they've got a line out the door, it's wrapped around the block a couple of times because it is an experience for Apple users. I mean, when was the last time Google or Microsoft came out with a product and you saw more than two people standing in line for it? I mean, it just doesn't happen. Same thing with Harley Davidson. I'll tell you who's in trouble right now is Starbucks. I mean, they've been in the news the last couple of months because of their whole they didn't want the people hanging out in there. I know it was more towards the homeless and vagrants and things like that, but I think they're going about it all wrong. I mean, they're pulling seats out of restaurants so that people don't have any place to sit. They actually have buzzers and timers now for, okay, you've been here too long, time for you to go. That's not the way Schultz set up Starbucks. It was supposed to be the third place. There's home, there's work, and there's Starbucks. And they've gotten away from that. And when you get away from the thing that created your business and created your model, you're going to get in trouble. And so I think that's one company that the experience is suffering, and their sales are suffering. I mean, we've seen that. I mean, Wall Street Journal's reported on that quite a bit.
So getting into Starbucks with the new CEO, I think it's Brian Niccol now. It seems like they're reversing it back to the tradition where they're writing the names on the cups now and having more of a seating environment where, like you said, it's becoming, again, the third home where people can hang out or work.
Hopefully it's not too late. I mean, they allowed their menu to expand. I think one of the smartest things, I think he cut like 20% of the menu already back to some of the basics. I mean, you could stand those poor baristas. I mean, they're making a grande cappuccino with foam that's 110 degrees and add a shot of potato juice and, whatever else goes into it. I mean, it's a 5-minute coffee to make. It's crazy. So I think that's smartly they're reducing their menu, and I hope they can turn it around.
So you mentioned, Vance, you sell warranties and guarantees you said the home service. So like what type of warranties is it?
Oh, sure. So like I said, I own 3 home service businesses in addition to the consulting and coaching that I do. I have a mold remediation business, an oriental rug washing facility, and a carpet cleaning business. So we have what I call the whoopsie guarantee, which means if I clean your carpet today and tomorrow one of your kids knocks over a glass of chocolate milk onto the nice clean carpet, give us a call. We'll come back out. We'll clean that spot, no charge. In the last year, one person, maybe.
I was gonna ask.
One person, maybe.
Uh-huh. And that's how warranties work in general, right? Like they're banking on that. Most people are not gonna use the warranty. Like same thing. The other day, I was buying a mattress from the furniture store, so they wanted me to buy the warranty because, like, I'm guessing most people they don't use the warranty, and that's how they make money, right?
Well, it's just like insurance. You buy car insurance, home insurance. You hope to God you don't need it, but when you do, you're happy it's there.
So you gotta be creative and think of something new. So Vance, what are like most of some of the businesses you work with or you're helping business owners? Like, is there a specific field, specific industry?
No, I work with just about everybody. Currently I've got a resort that I work with in Wisconsin. I work with financial planners, attorneys. Really, it's just a broad. I have a manufacturer of luxury shampoo, and I have a coach to dog walkers. And these are, so it's a very eclectic group of people that I work with because they all work with people.
So it's same concept, same principles.
Yeah, it all translates. And, so I do talk about Disney quite a bit because obviously it's, my background. But I get the question a lot. It's like, well, why do I want to try and copy what Disney does? I don't own a castle. I don't own a roller coaster. Why do I want to copy them? And my answer is, well, you don't. That's the wrong question. What you want to do is you want to adapt what Disney does into your business. So Disney's just figured out ways to turn everyday business things into an experience, like answering the telephone or greeting you in a lobby or whatever. They just figured it out. Okay, this is how we're going to make an experience. And so that's what we have to do in our own businesses. How do we create an experience out of all the boring, mundane things that we do day in and day out to keep the business running? How do we create an experience out of it? Because at the end of the day, we're all commodities. right? I mean, real estate business, a realtor is a realtor is a realtor. There's nothing separating one from the other except the experience that they offer. The dentist is a dentist is a dentist. There's only so many ways to clean teeth, except the experience that the dentist offers. So at the end of the day, you want to be tellable. You want people to go out into the world and say, oh my God, you'll never guess what happened to the dentist today.
So how would you do that? Is it like you just go the extra mile and take extra care of your clients or customers? Or do you think, like, how would someone do that? Let's say someone is listening and they have a small business.
So I had a client, he owned 5 service stations. And you're similar to like those Quick Lube or Jiffy Lube kind of places. All they do is oil changes. But he was an independent. And he was tired of competing on price because every time those guys came out with a coupon, he had to come out with a coupon that was, 10 cents less or whatever. And it was a race to the bottom. I mean, he was just getting couponed to death. And so I don't remember how we got connected, but, our first meeting, he was like, look, my guys are tired. My turnover is huge. My equipment is just getting beat up. I can't continue to work like this. I'm just ready to close up. And I said, well, what are you doing with your pricing? And he says, well, I'm taking a lot of coupons, etc. I said, well, why don't you stop taking coupons? And, look on his face was like, you mean I can do that?
Yeah.
Yes, well, it's your business. You don't have to take coupons. I said, well, why don't we go the opposite direction? And here's my principle behind this. There is no competitive advantage to being second cheapest, right? No competitive. You can't go out with an ad and say, hey, we're the second cheapest in your neighborhood.
No one would care.
That doesn't do anything for you. And if you are the cheapest, well, I mean, you're probably going to go out of business soon. So you might as well go the other direction and be expensive. And he thought about it and goes, oh, all right, well, how are we going to do that? So we put a plan together about we were going to create some experiences in his oil change business. So we had a lot of them. I'll give you the highlights. So when you drove up, I don't know if you guys probably aren't old enough to remember 1950s and 60s gas stations where there's like 4 guys would run out to your car. They all got gloves on, and one guy squeegees your windshield, another guy checks the air pressure in your tires, the other guy opens the door for you. So this is what we got the oil change to do. So all these guys come out, and one guy opens the door and walks you into the waiting room, and in the waiting room there's not like 3-day-old stale coffee. There's actually a barista in the waiting room making your your favorite drink. And we had a couple of other things. You had to answer the telephone and all this. He's charging 50% more than his closest competitor by offering all of these little nice added touches. Like, did it cost him anything to have his guys, go out and greet the car? No, they were already there. That didn't cost anything. Yes, did he have an investment in the whole coffee thing? Sure. But so here's the results of it. So that's all nice stuff, right? But here's the result. 1, he's charging 50% more. He has literally no turnover because the guys are not killing themselves. He's got less customers, but he's making more money. He's got less wear and tear on his equipment. He's actually taken time off. So these are all the things that a premium price can provide you. You could literally do the math on this. I challenge, maybe not now, but I challenge you. Do the math. Double your price and lose half of your customers, and you will be more profitable.
But the question is, would actually the customer value these extra services, especially in the beginning when like, for example, the oil change guy, like, let's say all of a sudden he started charging 50% more. What makes customers to go to his shop, right? Especially that he still doesn't have a lot of testimonials from other people or referrals, right? I think that's maybe the hardest part is in the beginning.
Well, he's appealing to an affluent customer. He's not appealing to the coupon clippers. So when you raise your prices and you charge premium pricing, you're going to get better clients. ones that are not going to complain. They're not going to be the first ones to ask for their money back. They're not coupon clipping. Price is irrelevant to them. They're not even thinking about price. They're going up there because they know that they're going to get treated well. The product, the service is going to be top notch, and they're going to be comfortable, and they don't mind paying a little extra for that comfort.
For convenience.
Think about it. If experience had nothing, nobody could do experiences. Think about what's the difference between a Ford and a Ferrari. What's the difference? They both got four wheels, they both got an engine, and they both go forwards and backwards. Why is Ferrari $500,000 and a Ford is $10,000?
It's a driver's
They
experience.
both do the same thing. Think about hotels. The Four Seasons, $800 a night. Motel 6, $40 a night. It's the same thing. It's got a bed. It's got a door. You can lock it. They both have TVs. Why are they a different price? Well, because Four Seasons offers a superior service. The experience you get provided to is a lot different than the one you get at Motel 6.
That's very interesting. And same as to Disney, right? As you said, people when they go there, they don't care about the price.
They really don't. Now there are some, like Disney. There was an article in the Wall Street Journal a couple of weeks ago, Disney, that said, maybe Disney has reached the point that they shouldn't raise prices anymore.
At some point, yeah, exactly.
Well, but here's the thing. It's still crowded. So Disney was raising prices to get people to not come.
Yeah.
Because if it's crowded, the people that are there are not having a good experience.
True.
Right.
So if they could raise prices and dissuade people from not coming, that's a good thing. Because they'd be just as profitable with less people there. Thing is, every time they raise prices, they still had the same people coming. So that backfired. I always say, you know what? Just raise your prices until somebody screams,
Yeah.
I raise my prices in my carpet cleaning business at least once a year.
I was gonna ask you, Vance, like for the warranty, do you think, let's say if you remove the warranty, you don't provide warranty, and you charge less prices, do you think you will lose customers or you will gain customers?
I would have a different caliber of customer. I know I couldn't charge the same, so I would need more customers to make up for it. So it's the whole thing with the oil change guy. I would need more customers at lower prices, which means they are a lower caliber customer, which means they're going to be more of a pain in the butt, which I don't want them anyway.
No one wants them.
And my guys are happy. Like in my business, so in the carpet cleaning world, most carpet cleaners are doing between 5 and 7 jobs a day to make money. My guys do 2 to 3.
Wow.
And we do the same revenue.
Yeah.
Now, who do you think is happier at work?
The
guys doing 2 or 3 jobs, they only have to load the equipment twice, or the guy's got to lug all his equipment 7 times?
But obviously, especially with Disney and other, the branding is very important, right? And the branding helps to gain these customers. So how did you build your own brand, for example?
Any type of branding to me has to be a happy byproduct of your marketing and your service. And by that, I mean you can't just slap a logo up there and expect everybody in the world to know what it means. Because we're not Coca-Cola, we're not Walmart, we're not Goodyear, so we can't do that. And I tell small businesses this, nobody cares about your logo. I hate to break it to you. And I know if there's any designers listening to this, they're going to be, all having a heart attack because I said logos don't matter. It's nice, yes, go ahead and get one. I've got one because everybody's got one, but I really don't care what it looks like. Because you want to leave. So I would ask this question: if I could go and ask Goodyear, so the guys that make tires, you know how they fly that blimp over top of the stadiums at football games?
Yeah.
I would go to the marketing department and I'd say, all right, guys, you flew that Goodyear blimp over top of that stadium. There were 80,000 people in that stadium. How many tires did you sell? They couldn't tell me.
Of course,
I
yeah.
would have no idea how many tires they sold from flying that blimp over top of the stadium. As a small business owner, we can't afford Goodyear blimp advertising. We can't afford it. We have to know where our money is going, and we have to see the money coming back. So if I send $1 out in marketing, he needs to go out there and bring a whole bunch of his little dollar buddies back to me in sales.
Yeah.
Seriously. That's why I mean the logo doesn't matter as far as your branding. Your brand should be you. So we are not big enough to be corporate-y. So a quick example, when I started my carpet cleaning business, it was a franchise, and there was another guy who lives, I don't know, half hour from me. He started his business at the same time, and so I shamelessly used my children in my marketing. I don't care, kids love it; they were fine, and so I tried to look like the Family Guy. I used my kids in my marketing, my dog, my cat, everybody, I looked like I was part of the community. This guy, he tried to look corporate. So he, when you called his office, he had one of those phone trees. Press 1 for residential, press 2 for commercial, press 3 for janitorial, press 4 for God knows what. He was one guy. And all of those little numbers that you push all went to his cell phone.
Right.
He was just trying to make himself look big and corporate-y. Well, people don't do business with corporations. They do business with people. And so any chance you get to make a connection with people, you take it. Like I've been, so I do a lot of public speaking in my consulting business. And I make it a point to seed my presentations or seed my speeches with bits and parts of my life so that I will resonate with different parts of the audience. So, for example, it's no secret I've been married a number of times. And I will make a joke about it, say, hey, I've got a couple of ex-wives and, whatever. I do that intentionally so that people in the audience that have been married more than once,
They can relate.
they get it. Oh, I say I'm a dog person, not a cat person. Great. So now I resonate with the dog people. I really don't give a crap about the cat people because they're all weird. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You can edit that out or
The
leave
crazy
it in.
cat lady.
No, we all agree
leave
with
it.
that. We all agree.
Yeah. But that's what you have to do. I mean, so I mentioned my kids. So my daughter used to do ballet. She's 17 now, so no more ballet. And when she was 5, she would go to do her recital every year, and we would take a picture of her in her tutu. And so 5 years old, took a picture of her in her tutu, and I put it in my newsletter. Went to all of my cleaning customers. And I did that every year. Every year there was a recital, every year there was a picture of her in her tutu. And I think she was like 10 or 11 years old. We're in the grocery store, and this lady comes running up to us. She didn't come up to me, came up to my daughter. She goes, oh my God, Emma, how was your recital? And we looked at each other. We're like, who the hell is this lady? We're like ready to go hide in the frozen food section. And I had to think, she's got to be one of my customers. I've made an emotional connection with one of my customers. This lady is never leaving me.
That's crazy.
Never leaving me. She will continue to buy my services until the day she dies because I've created that emotional connection with her. So that's what we, as small business owners, that is what we have to do. We have to use our personalities. We have to use what we have in our life. You don't want to use your kids? Fine, don't use your kids. You like to go fishing? Great. Use fish. Something that's going to resonate with your audience. I firmly believe that. We just can't be, corporate muckety mucks.
Yeah. No, that's a great point. And a lot of business owners, even I speak to a lot of realtors, and they say, "Oh no, I want to keep my personal life away from my business life. I don't want to share anything personal. I want to keep it private, but that doesn't help.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying you got to share your shoe size or
Of course,
whatever,
of course.
silly stuff like that. But if you got hobbies, share. Oh my God, look at the size of the fish that I caught, last month. People love seeing stuff like that. And if you
Yeah,
don't want to do that, maybe you recognize some of your customers. People love to see their name in lights. I mean, I don't know if when you guys were kids, my mother would always, if I ever got in the newspaper, my mother always cut the picture out of the newspaper, put it on the refrigerator.
yeah,
They did that with your artwork when you were in, kindergarten. They, oh, there's goes on the refrigerator. Trust me, adults like that stuff too. They
yeah,
love it.
yeah, yeah.
Oh my luck, he was in the paper. So don't discount that stuff. I mean, and that's how you build your brand. Is your brand being on time? We've got a plumbing company here in the States called, I think it's Ben Franklin, and they are the on time plumber. Nobody cares about what the name of the company. They are known as the on time plumber.
So they better be on time.
Brilliant.
100%
Oh,
on time.
yeah, but they have a guarantee behind it. They said if we're anything more, I think it was like if we're anything more than 15 minutes late, your service fee, whatever their initial charge is free. It's brilliant. So I mean, that's how you build your brand. It's not by putting an Apple up on the screen or Goodyear or whatever it is. It's the service you provide builds your brand.
Going back to professional services like engine oil changes or like a realtor service, I know you said earlier it's the same thing, but what if the mechanic at one shop is doing a better engine oil change? They're using a better quality oil, or for a realtor, maybe they just have more knowledge or connections to provide more exclusive properties to a client. Aren't those things that are more skill based versus being exactly the same or a commodity?
Certainly. And I would use that in my marketing to separate me from everybody else out there. No doubt about it. Where you run into trouble is, the guys that put on the side of their truck or, on their sign, we've been in business serving the community for over 100 years. Well, I walk into the office. There's nobody in here that looks like they're 100 years old. They all look like you guys. So where's the 100-year-old person? I mean, that's just, who cares if you're 100 years old? I mean, that stuff doesn't matter. Now, if you tell me that, on average you sell, 10 7 or 8 figure homes every year, and you're an expert in waterfront property, and nobody else sells more waterfront property in your area than me, sign me up, brother. Because you are now the expert, and that separates you from every other realtor in the world. It's when you become generic that you are in that sea of sameness like everybody else.
I have one more question. So,
Yeah.
so we spoke about obviously all this specializing in something to get more customers, but then how would you get these customers or clients to refer their friends and family and refer other people? Do you have any strategy in mind? Like, would you incentivize them? Like, would you tell them, hey, if you refer me someone, I'll give you a discount on your next visit?
That's a really good question. And there have been a lot of studies on the reason people refer. And I firmly believe that people don't refer for money. They don't refer for discounts or anything like that. They refer because it makes them feel good. They refer because it makes them feel superior to somebody else. So, if you ask me, hey, do you know anybody who has that has good VAs, virtual assistants? Now, I'm the guy I got a guy. I now feel superior to you, and I'm going to feel good. Say, yeah, you know what, Tawfiq? I got a guy, and I'm going to send him to you. So now, that made me feel good, and it made me feel superior. I don't expect any money from you. I don't want a discount. I mean, if you want to buy me a beer later, fine, but that's not what I'm expecting. So you got to carry that same thought process into the business, um, and referrals have to be a condition of doing business with your company. Now it's done a little bit more eloquently than that. Um, so, like in my home service businesses, there are 7 points uh, within the customer journey where we talk about referrals with the customer. So by the end of the cleaning and when the technician is leaving the home, we have touched them 7 times just about referrals. So the CSR, when he answers the phone, at the end of the call, we'll be saying, hey, Ms. Jones, since we're going to be in the neighborhood, do you think any of your neighbors might want to get something cleaned? We'd be more than happy to. Now, in this case, we do offer a little discount for her. Say, hey, we'll give you a free chair cleaning, or we'll give you a discount if somebody in your on your street will do a cleaning. We'll be more than happy to give you a discount. Great. So there's referral number one, and then when we do our reminder call that we're coming, we'll ask that question. When the technician gets there, his business card has got referral stuff on it. In the client folder, we've got referral certificates that you can give out to friends and neighbors. At the end of it, we've got another certificate and the business card that the technician leaves behind. The thank you letter that we send has a bounce back offer and a referral certificate. Everything that we send them has referrals on it. So you can't just do one thing. I mean, referrals have to be, it's got to be a system that's embedded in your business in order for this to really work.
I want to get into like most entrepreneurs, they're in the lead generation business, so they're constantly seeking out new clients. But I think you've mentioned that a big part of business should be on client retention or customer retention. Can you maybe dive into on how business can do that?
Sure. Now, I'll preface it with saying you do need new customers, and because especially if you want your business to grow. If you want your business to grow profitably, you need to focus on retaining the customers that you already have. For example, so I'll give you a quick math lesson. I just had this conversation with my manager this morning. So we got our Google pay-per-click report for January. Cost me $133 to get a lead in the front door for my carpet cleaning business. That's expensive.
For one
Now,
thing, yeah.
my minimum charge is $199. That if I did a minimum charge, that leaves me $66 to pay the technician, put gas in the truck, pay the rent, insurance, and all the other stuff. I'll tell you what, there aren't many pennies left over for me.
Yeah.
That's a problem. So last year, it only cost me $22 to market to my existing customers. So throughout the year, I market to them every month, twice a month. It cost me $22. So when a existing customer, let's say they just do the minimum charge of $199 just to keep the math simple, I'm already over $100 more profitable by serving a current customer than I am trying to go out and get a new one. If you only focus on new, you're going to go broke. You can't sustain it. You've got to have a system in place that is going to, one, keep customers. And I said it before, I mean, it is not the customer's job to remember us. It is our job as the business owner to remind customers that we exist. Just doing a good job that's the entry point to the marketplace. Just because you do a good job doesn't mean people are going to remember you.
That's the bare minimum.
That's not why it works. So that's the piece that business owners forget. I ask them all the time. I say, "Do you have a marketing budget?" Yes. Right. Do you have a budget to keep and retain your customers? They look at me like I got 3 heads. Yeah. All right. This is where we got to start.
Very good info.
So would you
I
say
aim to please.
the most common mistake you see is that businesses don't really have a budget for customer retention?
Or they don't have a plan.
They don't have a plan. Both.
To sum it up, so maybe our conversation so far is for businesses and business owners to be more human, provide at bare minimum the service, but then also go beyond that. Is there anything else that you would say that we might have missed today?
Well, I would say this. I mean, we dropped a lot of nuggets today, any one of which, if you implement it, will make you money.
Yes.
Any one of them. And I found through, I mean, I've been coaching and consulting now for 12 years. And what I have found is that people don't implement. And that's the problem. So, you know, if you just listen to this and, you know, you're getting off your treadmill or getting out of the car and you just turn it off and you walk in the house, well, all right, well, we killed 45 minutes for you. Pick one thing that you heard on this podcast. One thing. And go and do it. Implement something. And see how it works. See how it's going to change your business. Just one thing.
Yeah.
And you'll see the change. You'll see the positive. You'll see the profit. And that's it. You just got to do one thing.
Just do one thing.
That's excellent advice, because sometimes people get overwhelmed, like me including, when I go to seminars or attend webinars and I get all this information. Because I'm overwhelmed, I end up not implementing anything. So
Right.
that's a great advice. Do just one thing.
Pick one thing. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It goes back to the
That's amazing.
acronym KISS. Keep it simple, stupid.
You're not kidding. You're not kidding.
You got it.
Where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on my website, deliverservicenow.com is the best place. A lot of what we talked about, I've got what I call hot sheets that you can download that'll really help you out. The latest one I just did is 52 ways to wow your customers without breaking the bank. And actually, it's got its own URL. If you go to wow52ways.com, you can download that. So you got one wow for every week of the year. So yeah, deliverservicenow.com, or you can find me on LinkedIn, Vance Morris. I think I'm the only one.
Amazing. Awesome.
Yeah, we learned a lot, and I'm sure our listeners, you know, they've gotten a lot of value out of today's, you know,
Absolutely.
podcast.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. Thank you.
Awesome. Of course, Vance. It was an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. And see you guys in the
Thank
next
you.
episode.
Till next time.